Welcome to Financial Investing Radio, where you'll learn the secrets for consistent, high-probability returns in the financial markets for additional income to change your life. Grant applies consistent, high-probability trading systems for the financial markets. He's only recently started sharing these tried and true market secrets. As a gift to listeners, Grant is offering his roadmap to high-probability financial control. Go to financialinvestingradio.com and download yours today. Now, here's your host and trading veteran, Grant Larson.
Hey everybody, this is Grant. Thank you for joining. So I had read an article not long ago regarding an author. His name was Steve Siebold. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. On his book, How Rich People Think. Now, you may not agree with a summary of his material, but here's some interesting insights and highlights from his book. Again, his book is called How Rich People Think. And it got me thinking about mindset, how important mindset is when we're making our decisions around wealth, the way that we think about money, the way we treat it. So here's just a few of the items that he listed. Okay, ready for these? All right, number one, he said that average people think money is the root of all evil. He went on to say, rich people believe poverty is the root of all evil. Now, I tend to think it's more the love of money, not just money itself, that's the root of all evil. All right, so that's the first one. Second one he says is, average people think selfishness is a vice. Rich people think selfishness is a virtue. Virtue is kind of a strong word, though, but, if you understand it right, the logic here is kind of like the airbags on an airplane, right? So you sort of take care of yourself first, then you can help others. There's something powerful about self-reliance. That's a really important part. All right, so the third he's got here, average people have a lottery mentality. Rich people have an action mentality. I agree with that. Yeah, you got to have the ability and the willingness to move and to act. Okay, so it's not just about sit back and, let me think I'm going to, swing at the fence and get something big. You have to take small, actionable steps. All right, let's look at this next one. He's got, average people think the road to riches is paved with formal education. Rich people believe in acquiring specific knowledge. Well, the thing I like is education is super critical. Now, the more relevant and actionable knowledge you can acquire, the better. Now, if that means a formal education, I'm kind of glad that a doctor has some, education. No doubt about that. But regardless, it is important to get education. It's got to be actionable. All right, let's look at the next one. He says, average people long for the good old days and rich people dream of the future. Now, of course, there's nothing wrong with having good memories to look back upon, but having an eye towards the future is critical. It brings hope, and hope is a really critical thing when we're dealing with the wealth and all aspects of our life. All right, let's look at his next one. He says, average people see money through the eyes of emotion. Rich people think about money logically. Well, it's best to see money as a tool, I think, right? It's a means to an end, and it's something that helps us to accomplish, to do good. We really need to be thinking about doing good. In fact, was it Tony Robbins? I think Tony Robbins said something like, and hopefully I don't quote him wrong, but I think he said something like, hey, having more money just magnifies who you are. So it's really important that inside in our heart, right, that we figure out who we are and we make sure we're making good choices. All right, let's look at the next one. He says, average people earn money doing things they don't love. Rich people follow their passion, he said. Well, I think back of some of the jobs that I had, from growing up, from milking cows to being a dishwasher. All of these build character. So when you go through those, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But it can sweeten your desire for moving towards employment and a career that you have passion about. All right? Okay. Here's his next one. Average people set low expectations so they're never disappointed. Rich people are up for the challenge. Yeah, okay, I agree. You gotta shoot for the stars, no doubt. All right, here's his next. Average people believe you have to do something to get rich. Let's see. Rich people believe you have to be something to get rich. All right. So that kind of goes along with what I said earlier, right? You got to be. It's what you are inside, right? That's actually really critical. Who we are inside. Here's his next one. Average people believe you need money to make money. Rich people use other people's money. Okay. I think that's a really interesting one. And you think about, how do you do that? How do you actually leverage other people's money? There's certainly techniques and ways to do that, but thinking about systems to allow you to do that is critical. The next one, average people believe that markets are driven by logic and strategy. Rich people know they're driven by emotion and greed. Well, I couldn't agree with that more. Certainly the financial markets are that way. And a lot of markets are certainly driven in that manner. Average people live beyond their means. Rich people live below theirs. Well, that's obviously really critical. All of us have to live. We've got to be wise with management of our resources. Here you go. Average people teach their children how to survive. Rich people teach their kids how to get rich. Okay, richness is an interesting thing, right, in that sense. I think being rich is also recognizing, all the great blessings you got too. So it's not always just about the money. It's also about being grateful for what you have as well. Average people let money stress them out. Rich people find peace of mind and wealth. Yeah, and I would actually broaden the notion of wealth. Lots of times we think about wealth as just money. And I've had the opportunity to interview some people on this podcast who spent a lot of time thinking about what is the definition of wealth. But it's the abundant life. It also means good relationships, means that you're treating other people well, that you have peace of mind. Those things are just as important as the actual money part too. So yeah, I think that's critical. You have to have peace of mind, but have a broader view of what wealth is in your life. Here's another. Average people would rather be entertained than educated. Rich people would rather be educated than entertained. Okay, all right, nothing wrong with stopping to have a little entertainment, of course, but in reality, it's not just about serve me, but what is it that I can use or do in order to be an influence for good in other people's lives. Here's his next one. Average people think rich people are snobs. Rich people just want to surround themselves with like-minded people. I can appreciate wanting to be around like-minded people, no doubt. Even average people want to be around like-minded people. So that's an interesting one. Average people focus on saving. Rich people focus on earning. It's been said many times that you save in order to have your assets start working for you. And that's, of course, what investing is about. Whether it's real estate or investing or trading in the markets, it's getting your resources into a position where you can have them start working for you. All right, here's this next one. Average people play it safe with money. Rich people know when to take risks. Now, the thing about this one is, it turns out that you actually have to practice taking some risks at the right time. And at some point along the way, we're going to make a mistake, right? And we're going to want to learn the lessons from that for sure. But okay, I can appreciate that. And if you've been bit and made some mistakes, then suddenly that can make you want to be more safe. So you got to follow some guidelines there in terms of certainly how you're applying your money. Here's the next one. Average people love to be comfortable. Rich people find comfort in uncertainty. Okay, I don't know about that one. That one's kind of interesting. I also know some rich people that also like to be comfortable. Okay. All right, let's look at one more, or two more. Average people never make the connection between money and health. Rich people know money can save your life. All right, and then the last one. Average people believe they must choose between a great family and being rich. Rich people know you can have it all. Well, that would, in my mind, that would go back to what does it mean to actually be wealthy, right? And wealthy is more than money. It's about having good, strong relationships, having a good family, having a hopeful outlook, having the ability to be grateful for what you have, and then using your resources to do good for others. I think that's more of a wealthy life. Money's certainly a part of it, though. All right, let's let me just remind you. What is his name? His name was Steve Siebold. Right. Take a look at his book, How Rich People Think. There's some parts that I think make sense. Others I sort of go, I wonder. Now, whether you agree with each of these items or not, each of us have to decide. But it's important to understand that mindset matters. I heard a great story about a young man who got a job at a retail store. He was bringing in the carts from a parking lot, and it was hot and humid as he finished his first day on the job. And he went home, and his mom asked how his first day at work was, and she explained how bad she felt that he had to take such a low-level job. And he responded, actually, I'm the person responsible for setting the first impression as people come to the store. I ensure it's orderly, clean, and well cared for. What he realized is that he wasn't bringing in shopping carts. He was setting the first impression for customers. Now that's mindset. And when it comes to wealth, mindset matters. Well, hey, everybody, thanks for joining. And until next time, get into the right mindset.
Thank you for joining Grant on Financial Investing Radio. Remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Don't forget to download your free roadmap to high probability financial control before you make an investment decision. Visit financialinvestingradio.com now.